Doing Robert Rudner, and your name?
I'm Tom Baker.
And I was complimenting Bob Rudner on the excellent Nuke Loop tour he organized in 1989. Would you, Robert, share something to the audience about the Nuke Loop tour?
We started off at the University of Chicago, home of the first sustained chain reaction.
Yeah.
In we had two Nuke Loop tours. One year we went counterclockwise. One year we went clockwise to all the nuclear power stations under Commonwealth Edison and the nuke waste dumps.
Nuclear waste dump.
And also to the arsenal, in Quad Cities Arsenal.
Also,
We involved people like Stan Campbell and Radford, who was going up against the Byron reactor. We involved the people around Morris and LaSalle, who were going up against the LaSalle reactors and the old Dresden reactors and the Morris dump site. And folks up in Zion and so on. But we drove around in hippie buses.
hippie buses. Does that mean like colorful school buses?
School buses.
They had peace signs and they had flags of.
Out of places because of it. But anyway, we managed to touch down at all the nuclear power stations. One year we had an atomic veteran, James Major Brady Gates.
What's that mean, atomic?
James
veteran?
Gates was my patient, and I testified for him for his medical compensation.
He was one of the 250,000 GIs used as guinea pigs in the atomic bomb. His year was 1955, Operation Teapot. There were 14 nuclear tests held out there, and he was a Korea vet. He was sent out.
They moved him closer and closer and closer to the explosions to find out how many cancers he would develop. And then when he applied for compensation, they denied him, filed the cases late, and refused him penny one for the cancers the government had caused with the atomic bomb testing, claiming that those cancers have no evidence that they have any relation to radiation exposure.
Two sets of evidence. One was used for the making of the bomb, which told you at what proximity, what doses people actually got. And the other one was used to keep always the rads were below permissible limit. Every single one of them managed to be below, and those were the readouts that they gave him from the radiation.
So the fraudulent readouts that they gave him.
Right. And anyway, so I was, when I had my first article come out in 1984, in the Reader, talking about other atomic veterans, then got a hold of me. And one thing led to another, and I was on to another article. I was told I was too emotionally involved by New City, so they sent another reporter, and I ended up as one of the subjects in the interview. But this Jim Gates and the Veterans of Peace, and Ray Parrish, and folks at DVAW.
Robert and I have met multiple times at the Heartland Cafe, along with other activists. I'm now banned from the Heartland Cafe because
Well, it's got new owners, so you should try them out.
the new owners have banned me because I have an issue with Michael James over his refusal to allow me to speak about earthquake hazards and nuclear power plants. They are making out that I was inappropriate with an astrology group that met at Heartland, bringing up the question, where is it likely that an astrological event could lead to a nuclear accident in the United States? They banned me because the group said that my questions were inappropriate to their interests, meaning they were more interested in whose boyfriend would be a better Taurus than a Gemini for this person, and didn't want to do it. So they said, you're not really right for this group. So the Heartland banned me because I'm not right for the astrology group, because the questions I'm asking are the ones that Michael James and the Heartland have avoided strenuously. Michael James decked me to the floor when I asked the New Year's Eve audience in 2013 to vote for Senate Bill 1830 that bans fracking for a year in the state of Illinois. And because he didn't say it first, and he's Mr. Environmentalist around here, he assaulted me.
Literally.
Literally, and when I've asked for an apology repeatedly, Mr. James refuses to apologize, and Tom, the present owner of the Heartland, says, "You're not welcome here. You're going to make issues about the former owner. You're not welcome here."
Oh my, oh my. I am sorry to hear that. That is a great disappointment. That's not the level of leadership we expect from that he's postured himself to have. And that's a great disappointment. And it goes to show too that by and by, pretty soon it comes clear and clean. And that's too bad. That is really too bad.
They are responsible for Fukushima. It could have been prevented with the inventions that I created. It will be proven that Michael James and Katie Hogan interfered with communications that could have prevented both Fukushima and the Deepwater Horizon.
Whoa.
And I'm asking them simply for apologizing for assaulting me. Katie Hogan assaulted me too. I was there in the Heartland talking to someone who invited me to eat, to talk about my work. She grabs my arm and pulls me over into the corner. I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "You have no right to talk to our customers. They're our customers. He's eating dinner there. You don't have a right to disturb him to talk about your projects. It's all about your projects." I said, "Katie, with respect, I was largely and substantially responsible for the team that shut down the Zion plant." She says, "You think you shut down Zion? Well, you must be Jesus Christ incarnate." And she trounced me on the head with her hand. She says, "I congratulate you for coming back from the dead." Katie Hogan is a self-aggrandizing, ignorant candidate for alderman, and she's going to lose because she's going to have to answer for her behavior in public.
We want that to happen. We want those issues to be brought out. We want them to become part of the rhetoric, the understanding of people here on the beach, that they understand that this is what's happening and these are some of the players, and that they are themselves, they all have a great risk of these nuclear power plants, which were a bad idea from the start.
And this is the Heartland Cafe, the main environmental gathering spot of the environmentalists, which led to my petitions that agonizingly led to the shutdown of Zion and the loss of my medical license, because I put my career on the line to prevent Lake Michigan from becoming the Pacific Ocean around Fukushima. Zion could have melted down and contaminated all of Lake Michigan, and instead of acknowledgement and support, the Heartland Cafe took it as, "Who do you think you are, claiming you're an environmentalist and have your groups meet at our place?" They have assaulted me, pushed me out physically. That's against the law.
Yes.
Michael James has decked me, and Katie Hogan has grabbed my arm and pulled me to another table because in her bar, I was talking about something that doesn't make her money. God bless her. She has a lot more to worry about me in civil court. She's going to have to answer to the Almighty at the day of judgment, and He's not happy with her.
Well, neither is anyone when they learn this stuff. They wonder, how in the world, how can they pretend to be in advocating for what they pretend to, what they say, and then in fact, they are hypocrites about it.
Quite interesting, the table to which Katie pulled me back had two globes of the earth, both upside down, a symbol of satanic worship.
Oh my, well.
I don't know whether or not she was aware of it, but they removed them as soon as I pointed it out to the owners. And then, after I was thrown out, Kim, the manager, investigated the astrology group, saying I was inappropriate to the group, found out that, in fact, the inappropriate meant that my interests in the earthquake information didn't jibe with the interests of the other people in the group, and that the organizer of the meetup group had, in fact, given me 2 names of astronomers and astrologers who could help me. Nonetheless, Tom, the present owner of the group, refuses to talk to me on the phone, refuses to answer my written or oral requests for an apology, and has instructed Tim, the manager of the club, that if he ever shows up there, he is to be thrown out or the police are to be called. If he insists on staying and talking to people in the Heartland Cafe, call the police. Now, he slandered me. He's basically defamed my character in front of people he doesn't even know. And he has blocked left and right meetings between me and people like Rudner and other environmentalists who routinely meet at the cafe. I've brought them a lot of business. $3,000 out of my own pocket and probably $8,000 out of the friends that I've brought there for various conferences. Well, you have a chance to express what you feel about this. This is last 10 seconds of the tape.
Yeah, we need the truth out. We need the movement moving. We need people to become aware of what are indeed the risks and the situations that they have been denied information, and those responsible are not forthright. And that is a huge problem in the
Correct. The information has been denied to the public because the main advocates who claim to be the environmental center of the city, who have control of the Saturday radio show on the environment, refuse to allow me to be a part of the environmental community, and I've had to lead it from the outside. The nuclear industry has led to catastrophe after catastrophe that are suppressed. Fukushima was not the only one. I'm the editor of the Journal of Environmental Radiology. I've published 1,600 pages and written over 200 letters to the government that have been impaired by Katie Hogan, and Michael James. May God bless them with exactly what they deserve, and may this turn out to be an important factor in the decision-making of those who might vote for Katie for alderman.
We'd like to see the murals being painted, or whatever we call these, depicting the existing threat of the nuclear power industry upon us, upon all living things, and that it has been very successful in keeping people ignorant. If they knew, they'd be outraged.
The nuclear industry has a lot to be grateful for in having people like Katie Hogan and Michael James in control of the Heartland Cafe. They've done more for the nuclear industry than any two people I know in the city of Chicago. God bless them.
I hope so. I hope the truth comes out, friend.
The truth will come out. This tape will help. What is your name?
I'm Tom Baker.
Mr. Baker,
yes?
I thank you for your forthright views, and I will send a copy of this to you.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay?